and then defeat Slurpee Ninja, then he will exit this group with Chelney. But enough history. Let's look to the present. We've got Horsedad running Magnet first, and what's 8-Bit doing, Richard?
8-Bit is running the superior route of top first here. Looks like, fortunately, not getting the one hit on the first screen like what you want to do. It's a very difficult slide that you have to do to get it.
Horsedad is just flying through that first Magnet screen, highly optimized, falling off that ladder very quickly.
Yeah, and showing his finesse and mashing here, mashing down Proto Man with ease.
Pretty good fight. Hopefully he'll be able to defeat most of the Robot Masters without ease.
Took me a while to process.
Horsedad just flying off these ladders. If you've never played Mega Man 3, you might not realize how difficult it is to get off of these ladders sometimes. Ooh, using a very pro strat on the Yoku blocks. Choosing to run all the way to the right and risk bopping his head on the top block. It's a pretty rare setup there.
Yeah, meanwhile, 8-Bit is great, mashing down these cats. Part of the reason why top first is good is pretty much only if you're extremely good at mashing. If you're not as good as mashing as some other people, you'll see a fair amount of time loss on having to jump up more than a few times for those cats.
And Horsedad now hoping he gets good RNG. He gets a jump and a shield. That's a great start because you don't want all shields. You don't have enough health to take more than 3 hits to break up the shields, but you don't want all jumps because you can't hit him when he's in the air. You can't break up a jump. A pretty good race pattern from Magnet Man for Horsedad. And Horsedad jumps out to an early lead.
Yeah, meanwhile, 8-Bit is great, unfortunately, getting the 4 cycle there.
Magnet stage a little bit longer than top stage when you compare them in the 2 routes as a starting stage.
Now Horsedad coming into the hardest stage here in the entire game.
The hardest stage that includes no pits or spikes.
Yeah.
And how many cycles did it take 8-Bit is great on Top Man?
4.
Okay.
So unfortunately, kind of mitigating any advantage that he would have gotten due to route choice here.
Horsedad getting wrecked by the bees, and you can see how badly this game lags when there's lots of sprites on screen. But he is being smart and not spamming magnets to try to compensate. Those magnets probably wouldn't hit because of the weird tracking ability of Magnet Missile. Also, he's going to need almost all of his magnets for Hardman.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing of having Magnet as the weakness there. And having it being one of the most versatile weapons is that you want to use it during the stage, but you also need it for the boss fight as well.
Horsedad also being careful not to get hit by that monkey. He's conserving his health, so I would expect him to be going for the fast Hardman strat, which requires him to take 2 body hits from Hardman to avoid getting frozen. Oh, wow.
Horsedad with nice one jump.
Wow.
One jumping those Met Dozers is always very impressive.
What's 8-Bit doing in the parachute section, Richard?
8-Bit is, it looks like using Buster to get through this section. It's actually a little bit scary because there is quite a bit of knockback. But making it through, typically what you want to do there when you go top first is basically slide and use top spin to make your way through. But that's not what it looks like happened here. And unfortunately taking a death here in Shadow.
So let's see if Horsedad does go for this fast Hardman fight. He'll be setting up underneath him, taking damage. That's actually twice that he takes damage, but it keeps him from getting paralyzed, and so he can finish the fight very quickly. Oh.
Meanwhile, 8-Bit is great. Looks like ran out of top spin there. interesting property of top spin in this game is basically when you're in the hitbox of your robot master opponent, you drain an energy for every frame that you're in there. So not ideal.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, 8-bit here coming into Gemini Man stage, one of the longest Robot Master stages in Mega Man 3.
Yeah, and he's reporting in the chat that this is not what he meant to do. Although this is the third.
This is what you want to do when you go top first. This is the typical. This is the typical option.
Now I'm curious what his normal third choice is.
This is what...
Me too. Actually, I don't know. Might go Magnet.
Well, it looks like he's talking to Proto Man. I don't see that very often, Richard. What happened there?
Yeah, unfortunately, when you go into that Proto Man screen there, you want to be sliding such that you can jump out of your slide in the next screen. Unfortunately, did not happen there for 8-bit. So going to be having music in this last section. We're also going to see penguin enemies that you don't normally see in a Mega Man 3 run, but they do exist. They're not just garbled, I guess, blocks of matter.
Right, so 8-bit is great, doing a huge favor of those of you who write fan fiction about Mega Man and Proto Man. A chance to see them actually having a good conversation instead of shooting at each other. And also for those of you who like giant penguins.
8-bit switching to Buster here instead
that's
of
a short
Shadow
jump.
Blade.
It's a short jump. Does he have the magic? Does he have the magic pixel? He does have the magic pixel. Wow.
Oh my god.
There's not so you are not guaranteed to be able to fall down onto the platform. It all depends on your sub-pixel position. Wow.
Unless you're a god gamer like 8-bit is great.
Apparently.
Then you just get it all the time.
Oh wow.
Still not switching to Shadow Blade though, which is really scary. You can utilize Shadow Blade to just kill these dragonflies.
What's with this wrong? Oh, thank you, Mega Man 3, with your very liberal edge detection.
Talk about scary stage there. At least 8-bit's going to be able to use Shadow Blade here coming into the Gemini fight.
Yeah, Fiesel asking in chat if... Well, I'll wait for this Gemini fight. Okay, he jumps over Gemini Man. That's always very impressive. And wow, very nice, 8-bit. Very, very nice. Horsedad has a strategy being magnet first. He can just slide and throw magnets at these parachutists. And they're not giving him any big drops. It's very nice of them. That can slow you down and even mess up
so
your
you
jump
can
if
just
you're not
hold your jump button through. We'll see some people accidentally not do that, get a big drop, and then fall to their death.
Yeah. But Fiesel asking in chat if you can pause to reset your falling acceleration. Wondering if that was what 8bitisgr8 was doing when he fell towards that E-tank. But that is... You can do that in Mega Man 2. You can not do that in Mega Man 3, sadly. That is my favorite thing about Mega Man 2, actually.
So 8bitisgr8, just going with the intended route here for top first. I still don't know what he was saying about saying Gemini first, or Gemini third rather.
He's got some nice Buster only strats for this section of Needle stage where one would normally use a magnet first runner would use
Buster here.
Okay,
this is right. There are a few situations where you can kill Mets a little bit quicker if you do single block slides on some of the single blocks in that room, but 8bitisgr8 opting not to do that. But yeah, just saving a minuscule amount of time. Switching to Gemini here. Pretty tight Gemini laser that you had to shoot to kill the enemy on that screen, but very nicely done.
I'm going to turn my attention back to Horsedad since I actually know the route. And he gets the proto skip very nicely. Let's see, there's a good chance he'll get the tadpole zip here too. No, he doesn't get the
Caster
tadpole
Curse
zip.
right there.
But
Kyle to Horsedad. As 8bitisgr8 gets a Nidua laser. But only one, so very nicely done by 8bit to not get too many of those lag lasers going across the screen, ricocheting all over the place, and causing a quite unfortunate amount of time loss per laser.
Horsedad just gutting through those giant penguins, not pausing to get hit by a small penguin to minimize his damage, but then he does grab the giant health pickup, so he will not have to worry about health in the Gemini fight. Shooting dragonflies here, both to reduce lag and to prevent them from chasing him, and he is not doing any single block slides, just hopping along. Looked like he killed about every dragonfly.
Yep, no trouble there. Someone just knocked on my...
Ooh, taking damage from the big stomper, but he shouldn't be that worried because he did get that big health pickup. So. See if he can have a good fight like 8bit did. Oh man, throwing the blade straight up. Super swaggy. But he is getting low on health. Let's hope he can jump Gemini Man. So apparently in this second phase, Gemini Man only jumps when you shoot. I just learned that yesterday, practicing stages with FastAtCC's new tutorial, which you should definitely check out if you're learning this game. Horsedad unfortunately takes a death there. And we saw the Gemini laser. We saw the Gemini laser, which you're really not supposed to see in that fight if you get it over with in a good amount of time. Okay. But once you get that full health, then you don't have to worry about getting hit, and you can just hit him over and over. So, good second try. That's going to bring it a little closer. Horsedad still has a comfortable lead on 8bitisgr8. And so 8bitisgr8 is not going to have to worry about magnet RNG. He's just going to throw 4 blades at him. He can shoot him while he is in the air, which is an advantage that this has over Gemini first route, where you have to fight him with Spark, which can only go left and right.
Yep, you do want the pattern where Magnet Man stays on the ground.
Why is that, Richard?
A little bit faster, since you don't have to kind of wait for the jumping up of Magnet Man. So Horsedad here actually going through Needle without Magnet, it looked like. Typically, if you do Magnet first, I don't know Magnet first route all too well, but you pretty much have Magnet up till this part of the stage, right?
Absolutely. Well, I use Gemini on the first screen, Magnet on the second screen, and then switch back to Gemini here. I used to do Gemini, then Magnet, and then keep Magnet for those Hammer Joes. So I can only speak to my experience, but Buster is very nuanced. It's hard to mash down those porcupines that you have to jump to reach. So you have to damage boost, and that ends up being slower than using laser, even with the menus. Wow. Wow, that was I mean, at least it hit him at the end, but what a long trip that laser took.
Horsedad, only with a few HP left, the needles actually deal 3 damage, so...
Excuse me, those lasers.
Yeah. 8bitisgr8 coming into these Met Dozers here, unfortunately getting 2 jumps for both of them. Very difficult to get a 1 jump. Meanwhile, Horsedad now coming into Snake Man stage. This is kind of where both of the different routes converge, as Snake and Spark. So you can kind of see here that Horsedad is kind of holding around maybe half a stage lead right about now compared to 8-bit.
And he's hugging the right wall, so he must be going for that health. It is not a bad idea, as this Stomper could have killed him had he not grabbed that big health pickup. And that was not commentary curse. I said that just as he was getting hit.
Yeah, but you thought it.
I was thinking it before he got hit. I guess. So you can see there when Hardman crashes into the ground, he gets frozen, so he doesn't let him crash a second time. And look at that 1 bar of health.
Completely routed to only have 1 health there. Completely intentional by 8-bit, making it out alive.
So, as Richard said, unless 8-bit... Yes, so 8-bit goes to Snake Man, so now we can compare apples to apples. And about a half stage lead. The Snake Man stage, one of the longer stages.
Yeah, a lot of precise shots that you have to make on this first screen of Snake Man, so that you don't get hit by any of the enemies going across. Meanwhile, we see Horsedad here using a jet effectively throughout the entire stage, making it to the end of the stage unobstructed.
Yeah, jumping off of Jet, both to not use a whole lot of rush energy and also to jump off the top of the screen, which reduces lag on screen.
Horsedad getting killed a little bit off to the left here. You're going to see Mega Man jump up onto that middle platform. Something that you'll see other runners do is try to get Mega Man up onto that middle platform so that you don't have to deal with basically the slow jumping animation that happens if you do not end up in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, and the optimal Snake Man fight is different than this fight, because in the refight you want to finish on the left, but in this one you actually start on the left, move towards the right, and then finish in the middle.
8-bit using Jet a little bit early here instead of going across the bottom, getting the health to be safe, and maybe a little bit worried here about having a little bit too low Jet. But luckily, you don't spend ammo while you are off Jet.
Yeah, if this were a casual run, he wouldn't have nearly enough Jet, but even with only 3 or 4 bars, he's going to make them last. Yep. So we won't get to see single block slides.
Has anyone in the tournament tried that yet? I don't even know. I feel like nobody's tried that yet in the tournament.
The challenge has been laid, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Kyle, go for it. Eight-bit now finishing Snake Man as Horsedad is finishing up Spark Man stage here.
No, he jumps. Oh my gosh, Horsedad, that is not my setup. Basically, you want to set up for those moving platforms, and you want to do the same thing every time, because
if it works for Horsedad, though,
you can't just
and it gets him across
it
every time, then
yeah, absolutely.
By all means, keep doing it until you go for a faster time, and then you want to incorporate more slides instead of some of those scary jumps that I saw Horsedad have.
Because of the way lag works in this game, it's very hard to improvise in sections with a lot of sprites on screen. So you definitely want to set up, whether it's for that or for the underwater Gemini section, and you want to stick to it.
Yep, looks like 8-bit here is actually opting to stick with Buster throughout a large portion of this stage. You'll see a lot of people,
that's a costly death.
Yeah, I was going to say, you see a lot of people switch to Magnet to kill some of the enemies in this stage. Unfortunately, taking a slide there into the pit is, like you said, very costly, and unfortunately, bring him further behind Horsedad here.
But I think that's the first non-Robot Master death of the 8 robots, so Good job on both runners for almost making it through the 8 robots without a non-robot master death.
8-bit went for another slide there.
Ooh. 8-bit finds a way to not get hit twice by that last laser.
Shooting a couple shots over the Met Dozer, actually.
Worst hitbox. Mr. Swede with a good pun in the chat. Horsedad's lead looks pretty stable.
Oh, jeez.
I had some puns about Horsedad, Mr. Swede, but I'm trying to rein it in tonight because I want Richard to stick around. I don't want him to hoof it.
Hey now.
Oh, 8-bit taking the damage boost off the bolt.
This is actually 8-bit's last life, so gonna have to be a little bit careful here. Sparkman, one of the easier robot masters, so probably little danger in dying here, especially with 3 E-tanks.
Horsedad using the old strat on that last screen of Doc Gemini, or the last screen of the first half of Doc Gemini.
Missing a few shots here, unfortunately.
Yeah, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this game came out in 1989 in Japan, I believe. And just today, February 7th, 2017, Triwave suggested a new strat for that last screen of the first half of Doc Gemini. Fastest said it might save 0.3, 0.4 seconds.
Horsedad here, not switching to Shadow Blade earlier on, opting to use Rush Jet across that water section. And
getting a really nice double kill as he climbs up that ladder with the helicopter boys. 8-bit getting a Nadua laser on the ladder. Very nice.
I just realized 8-bit is doing Spark first. Superior option.
So many good horse puns.
Not actually superior, but...
So many good Horsedad jokes. Oh,
taking a death there, Horsedad.
Horsedad, why?
Not like this. Giving 8-bit a little bit of a chance to catch up some time as he comes into the Metal Man fight.
That last... That was a cheap shot by Bubble Man. I think that was a horse hit. Let's see if 8-bit goes for this. You got music. Is he going for the music despawn on Doc Spark?
8-bit is not. That is a very dangerous music despawn.
But what about Horsedad? Ooh, Horsedad's going for the vintage set. No, he's not.
Wait. Oh, did Horsedad? Yeah, Horsedad just looked like he jumped through. He didn't even try for it.
So no music despawn so far. There's one at the beginning of Doc Shadow. There's one after Metal Man fight in Doc Spark that sends you back to the beginning of the stage if you fail it.
Really being kind to the audience. You know, the wonderful music of Mega Man 3 is kind of hindered with music despawns because, albeit faster, you don't get to enjoy the good music of some of these stages sometimes.
Let's see what 8-bit does against Doc Quick. He goes in here with half health, which is pretty dangerous since Doc Quick does 8 body damage. He gets to the E-Tank in time with 0 lives. So he's at the end of the stage with 0 lives.
0 lives, 0 problems. That's,
something like 2 health.
That's the mantra of 8-bit is great.
Something like 2 health. So even if a boomerang hit him, he's dead. He managed to get an E-Tank off at one of the hardest moments in the game to execute an E-Tank, since you can't menu when you have a snake on screen. Wow.
Some would say he is great at 8-bit video games.
I would say that, and he didn't fall in that hole. Very nice.
Getting through this beginning few sections of Doc Gemini, maybe taking it a little bit more careful than other people. You might see a lot more slides across this long horizontal section, but 8-bit taking it relatively carefully, seeing him walk through quite a bit of this first part of the stage.
Yeah, well, he's past that one scary critter that ends so many PB attempts. But that Doc quick fight has to give him some confidence.
Oh yeah, for sure. Meanwhile, Horsedad here, making it into Heatman.
And making it out of Heatman, yes.
Eight-bit is great, not going for the newly found strat here.
Come on, guys, you gotta get with the times. That strat's been out for at least 12 hours.
No, it's like 4 hours. Been
4 hours, 12 hours. Who's keeping track of time
Nobody's
tonight?
incorporated it just yet. So we saw kind of a... Is 8-bit using Mega Man 3 here?
He is using Mega Man 3.
I think we saw a little bit longer pause than you would see. One of the advantages of using Rockman 3 over Mega Man 3 is the flash fight.
Ring, ring, ring.
Who are you gonna call? 1-800 Armor.
Marine.
Taking an extra safe there.
Ooh, he gets the big pickup. Very nice. His health was looking a little dicey. Horsedad has basically no health for... Oh, very easy to burn your spark without killing.
This is Horsedad's last life
boss.
too, so...
But he manages to gut it out. He wisely uses an E-tank. He's probably safe now. You don't have to worry about fall damage. Only thing I'd be worried about now would be if he uses the fast strat of snakes on the giant Mets. It's easy to take a hit from the Mets if you get too close, and they do a lot of damage. But Horsedad, we're talking about a 37 runner. He's going to be fine.
Meanwhile, 8-bit getting done with Bubble Man fight. And now going on to his third dock stage. Looks like both players are actually on the same dock stage now, but with different dock stages left to go.
Right, so about that, Shadow and Spark, the two remaining stages, are...
Sorry, Kyle, did you cut out?
I don't know, Comster, I hope so.
Here we see the Clashman fight for Horsedad. Getting through very cleanly there. And here we see 8-bit is great. Running out of spark, unfortunately.
Yes.
In that fight.
Switching to Magnet, which also does 4 damage. You can also go ahead and switch to Rush Jet. Airman takes 2 damage from Buster, so if you switch to Rush Jet, it only takes 2 shots, and then you already have Rush Jet equipped. It's another option. Should you find yourself sparkless?
Yeah, that's one of the things about Airman is very difficult to get those shots in when Airman's pattern kind of blocks some of the shots from getting to him. Meanwhile, Horsedad actually used Shadow on those first few screens of Doc Spark. Definitely an interesting choice, as we see a lot of people opt to go for Gemini.
So everybody's using Snake against the giant Mets in this section. Oh, what?
Getting hit by the Mets.
So I'm not exactly sure what just happened there, except I saw him jump right up into the giant Met to deliver the final Snake.
Well, he damage boosted from a normal Met first.
I've never noticed that strat.
8-bit is great. Confirmed.
So you damage boost off the small met and then jump up and mash snakes into the cross. I've never noticed that.
The future's here. This is the true power of 8-bit.
Have people been doing that? Like, is that the backup strat?
You'll see typically people switch to Shadow.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. It makes me smile. All right. So, Horsedad going into his dot quick fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh, he takes a 1 hit from a boomerang. Wow. What a god.
8-bit is great. Setting up the music despawn. I actually don't have his audio. Don't know if he got it or not. Let's check his stream really quickly.
So if he did get it, this will reduce lag just a little bit and make movement with the opening platforms a little bit easier.
Looks like he did get it, so very nicely done getting the setup for the music despawn.
Excellent. Now let's see if he does clutch jumps. Whoa, what the? Okay. Not sure what he just did there. Looked like maybe he was trying to despawn that grenade weapon, that grenade enemy, by moving backwards. I don't know if you can do that.
Meanwhile, Horsedad here, making it into Wily 1.
Wily 1 is free unless he goes for extremely fast strats by double sliding on these spikes and iframes. I don't think we're going to see that.
Now, I've heard you can soft lock in the stage somewhere as well. Very nicely done by Horsedad sliding across those spikes.
That was totally unnecessary.
Totally free. Totally free.
Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, 8-bit here getting through the Woodman fight. Switching to Buster here, again, very extensive use of Buster when we'd see options like Gemini. Mazimov uses Hardman on that screen.
So many options.
And 8-bit still at 0 lives, so...
Horsedad got a magnet pickup.
Getting a 1-up.
He is set for Hardman fight.
Right
nice. There. Nice. What a screen to get a 1-up on, too. And his health looks good for Heatman fight. So as Richard was saying, Horsedad is keeping it safe by keeping his jumps low. The Turtle Maker does do a lot of damage, and if you die with a hit from Turtle Maker way up high on screen, in the Japanese version, the checkpoint has an extra sprite there, like a background sprite, and you spawn into it, and you actually can soft lock. We've had one player do that in the tournament so far, and sad to report, it was my commentary partner, Richard.
That's okay. Once we get to the refights, I can tell of another situation that may have happened.
But 8-bit will be safe because he's on the English version, and that's right.
And shoutouts to IBN Computing here.
Yeah. Speaking of IBN Computing, that's my cue to tell you how far apart these runners are. They are 2 minutes 37 seconds apart going into Wily. So Horsedad has a very comfortable lead. He could even die to the Yellow Devil here, which requires you to redo the entire stage and still be ahead.
Fortunately, the stage only takes about just over a minute.
Yeah, and he won't die here. I think he's going to get the 1 cycle.
You think so?
I think so. He didn't have one in his PB, but now he has a new PB, so...
Good first jump.
It's a pretty good first jump. Great second jump. There you go. Easy every time. That's good to save at least 18 seconds right there over the 2 cycle.
8-bit is great, taking it a lot more carefully over this first section in Wily 1.
Also, showing his experience with the game, I think, there, by not trying to jump from the very bottom of that pit all the way up to the right-hand platform. It's impossible to make that jump. Or maybe he just wanted that small health pickup.
Horsedad coiling his way through Wily 3 here, making it through the KLM room.
I think 8-bit thinks he's in a half Buster only tournament here. Just mashing down these Joes with Buster. Very impressive. Not using
Kyle, I know
Riley.
you know a little bit about Buster only.
Love it.
Pretty much an expert at it.
I would recommend it.
8-bit is great. Making
everybody.
it over the ledge and then walking back towards the ladder.
Shoutouts to Subpixels.
Horsedad here. Getting the kill, but unfortunately landing a little bit lower than he would have liked. On that
Oh, there goes his perfect Shadowblade fight. He hit the first two turtles perfectly with Shadowblade. Shadowblade is the harder strat here, but it's slightly faster because you have Rush Jet out, and Shadowblade is on the same menu page as Rush Jet. To use Top Spin, which is a little safer and easier, you have to go to the first menu page. And you use Shadowblade, don't you, Richard?
Yeah. That's more of a testament of me not having internet when I was learning the Wily stages and just remembering what Fast was doing.
If Fast does it, it must be easy. He makes it look easy.
Now that I have the internet, I am just kind of stuck with the strat. Horsedad here getting through the first Robot Master in the refights, making sure that he picks up the health, since this next fight with Shadow Man, you're a little bit kind of low on health due to the close quarters. What happened?
Wow. 8-bit landed on one of the teeth boxes just as the teeth were retracting. So he didn't take damage, but man, close. Frame perfect.
Horsedad with a nice 2-cycle there.
Yeah, and he stands far away enough from Top Man. If you're really close to Top Man when you deliver that last knuckle, you get frozen in place. Jaspix warning us about the Gemini refight soft lock.
Yep. Kyle, you want to explain this a little bit?
So I don't know how it works, but basically you can soft lock the game here. I did it in my first race versus Jaspix, and the rule if you soft lock in a race is you get to password back, but password only takes you to Wily 1. There are not special passwords for each Wily stage.
8-bit, unfortunately, not getting easy here, having to wait for this second cycle to happen. Gonna be a little bit hard pressed to get this next second cycle here.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to mirror the setup. He has a really good jump, but unfortunately he only got one of them, and he needed two.
Yeah, so getting the 3-cycle there, unfortunately.
The good news is it takes a lot of time to get from first cycle to second cycle, but not from second cycle to third cycle.
Yeah.
And to answer the great Sir Nico, basically the soft lock, I don't know how you achieve it, but the way you prevent it is to do your fight the exact same way every time, because it's not random. Like if you do your fight the same way every time, you're guaranteed to not get it.
8-bit trying to go for the swag strat in this room, trying to go in between the second and third bullets. Not quite getting it.
And that's a really tough room.
It's a very, very tight room.
So Horsedad is green, which means he will be going for the quick kill. Would you like to describe that, Richard? What's happening here?
Yeah, so pretty much you use Snake to kill this first section. You're going to shoot 2 snakes to lag the screen so that you can jump up and shoot enough snakes into the Wily machine as it is coming down upon you. Since you're on iframes already because you got hit prior, you're able to just mash away, as we saw Horsedad do.
Gets it beautifully.
Extremely cleanly.
And let me just remind everybody, Horsedad has done 2 races. And in one of the races, he had a 38. In the other race, he had a low 40. Unless he just falls apart again, he's got a 39. So 38, 39, 40. PB is a 37, 40 now, and just got that today or yesterday. So very consistent runner now. He told me before the race started that he ran this game for a 2-week span a little while ago.
39-32 it looked like at the end there.
And then just got back into this 3 weeks before the tourney. So he has not spent a lot of time running this game, but the time he has spent has been well spent.
Yes, nice effective practicing from Horsedad, getting him another victory in this very difficult group.
Yeah, so that brings him to 3-1. And that's it for this group. He and Chelney are going to be the two who will advance. Because Slurpee Ninja has already lost 2, so there's no way that he or 8-bit can advance now. So congratulations to Chelney and Horsedad for advancing from Group E.
Here we see 8-bit going interesting direction in the refights here. So it looks like you went to Needle first.
Finishing Magnet with 2 health. 8-bit has
like
provided
8-bit
so
might just be
many
going
clinchy moments.
In counterclockwise order here. Getting a lag laser here, unfortunately.
Man, as long as oh no.
Oh man.
Oh my. He's got it. He's got it. That was a 3 HP kill, it looked like. Wow. Yeah, you don't want to have your laser and his laser on screen at the same time.
Now, coming into these last few refights here, so let's just talk about the upcoming match we have. So we have another match coming up tonight, Mazimov versus J-Beth right after this one.
And Mazimov is already 2-1. He is a favorite to be the second runner out of his group, which includes Imcon with the 3503 PB at the top. J-Beth has yet to do a race in this tournament. Both are Mega Man 2 runners who came to Mega Man 3 within the past few months. Mazimov has a little more, quite a bit more experience than J-Beth actually, but both very accomplished Mega Man 2 runners.
8-bit is great going down a little bit, maybe forgetting that he had Snake Man to go, but just one more refight to go for 8-bit, and then he'll be on to a Wily Machine.
Most important thing, shoutouts to Horsedad for using the second controller glitch to extend the Proto Man music at the end so that you get to hear the slowdown and the key change.
How kind. Now that just invalidates the run, even though the run is over, right?
Right. Using a second controller.
Congratulations to 8-bit on that victory. 8-bit actually going to go for a strat here.
I love this
Spark
strat.
and Jet. So you want to explain this a little bit, Kyle?
Yeah, so he's going to throw 4 spark shots. Bang, 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 bang. And then he's going to switch to Rush Jet, fly up, and just mash his heart out. Well, yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that is a very satisfying strat to execute. And if you can get good at it, that was pretty average one there. But if you can get really good at it, it's faster than 2 cycling with snakes. It's slower than the quick kill, but if you have to switch to Shadow Blade to finish off the snake strat, then Rush Jet, the Spark Rush Jet can actually be a faster strat.
Now coming into the Gamma fight pretty straightforward.
So this is going to be a 44, but it's 4 minutes faster than his last race, and
he's gonna do the drop down.
What?
Drop down instead of using the bullet.
More impressive. Again, 8bitisgr8's PB is a 43.49, so he's almost within 20. He's 22 seconds off his PB.
Really nice.
Very impressive. Very impressive. So both runners putting in a good race. Horsedad I think he has a little more experience with this game. So his baseline is a little bit lower than 8-bit's, so he was able to win this race. But both runners putting in very good runs at about level with their race ability.
Yep. Congratulations to Horsedad on the victory. Congratulations to 8-bit on the very close to PB run. Probably had a few golds in there as well for himself. And, going against someone with that much better of a PB than you, it's always good to just have a solid run.
Yeah. So congratulations to both runners. Thanks to my partner, Richard. And in 10 minutes, we'll have another race. So I'm going to step out for a moment, and I believe we are going to be back to commentate the next race as well.
Yep. So stay tuned, everyone.